Evening, everyone.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How you doing, Peter?
Good.
How often have you joined us? I don't recognize your name too well.
No, that's not my real name. That's my name I signed up to Zoom.
No, nice.
My name is Jim Malillo.
I have seen that name before in email threads.
Yeah. I don't thread much.
How are you doing in this market right now?
Fair.
What do you invest in?
I invest in leveraged ETFs and single stock ETFs. That's
Oh,
it.
wow.
I don't fool around with individual stocks.
Beating the market?
I always have.
Good job. That's the way to play it. Always when people tell me, I just play with leverage stocks, I kind of worry because sometimes they're like, I accidentally convinced somebody to get out of TSLL, which is double leverage Tesla, because they're like, wait, it's double the downside too. I'm like, yeah, it's double the downside. So you have to be really bullish on the upside to do a leverage stock.
Yep.
And he was like, oh, shoot, I'm selling it. Where's Tesla's at?
I've been investing for many years, so I don't worry about things.
Where do you find your leverage stocks?
Where do I find them?
Yeah, because I go to the etfdb.com just to see what is leveraged because Direxion and other companies.
I'm retired, so I see them come across the ticker screen.
What kind of ticker screen do you use?
CNBC.
Oh, nice. So what I've been trying to do this past month, I've been trying to get all the leverage stock ETFs. I'm going to share my screen with you. So this is a leverage stock ETFs I've been able to do so far from APU, AMD, Amazon, and you probably recognize most of these. And I've been trying to make a whole collection of them. And I was planning to just share this whole list to everybody after I kind of finagle with it a bit because sometimes I get tired and I misput in stocks and I don't want to have too many errors in it. So what do you think of this? Would this be of value to you?
Yeah,
Because
it would be of value to the group.
yeah, because if it helps out at least like a handful of people, I'm happy to just put in the work and kind of do stuff like this. It's nice because we're leverage ETF group, and some people have gave me very positive feedback saying I do not talk about leverage ETF and growth stocks enough. I'm like, that's valid actually. So I'm planning to just talk about it a little bit more.
The chart's a chart.
What's your fundamental trading basis? How did you learn how to trade stocks?
I've been investing for 57 years. I don't do any fundamental analysis at all. I'm a proponent of what Weinstein said that the technicals precede the fundamentals. I follow the technical indicators and I use a couple of different software packages, mainly Metastock. I see the volume turning against my trade, then I get out. I
I'm
don't
very
wait for.
honored to have you here, Jimmy. Very honored to have you here.
I normally don't speak up in meetings either.
That's okay. Let's see. We have about 15 participants right now. I'm sure people are gonna jump in to see Rick Keller. He was at the IBD joint meetup. You guys heard about it? He saw a bunch of people speak like that, big IBD names like Mike Webster and stuff like that. And I'll give a summary today of what I learned from it, which is quite interesting. My mind hurts from it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start the meeting. Luckily, I've got recordings and I'm getting better and better with recordings. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes,
Beautiful.
ma'am.
Hey, Hailey, it's Rick. It was great to meet you in San Francisco.
Yes, it was beautiful. I'm in San Francisco, right? September, October, best time of the year to go because it's not too windy, the sun's out, and the fog is not rolling in.
The weather was just gorgeous. Coming from Houston, it was just paradise. For the next 5 days after the conference, it was beautiful.
The weather's getting a little gloomy, so it's not going to last too much longer. So, welcome. This is our agenda 15 items. And how it's coming through is a little different, but content's still the same. So 15 different items, same stuff in the beginning. So what I'm going to change from now, I'm going to do two different things. I'm going to try to do a general market update. So I'm going to talk about how the market is. We're still going to do the on-the-spot stock analysis. I'll do a leverage edge strategy update as per usual, but I'm also going to add in the major events potentially affecting the stock market. And what I'm also planning to do is give a little more value to the group. What I want to do is give a Google Calendar, and I'm going to call it equity events. I'm going to list every single equity event that's coming into the market every single month. Rick, that might be your background. I'm going to mute you. There we go. So I'm going to try to give a Google Calendar share of all the major events coming up, and I'm going to show you that later. Presentation is going to be the IBD Meetup recap, questions, and I've been talking to Vibha. She's a triple QQQ trader. She is presenting on Trader Line, and she was very grateful due to Floyd that she's going to be speaking on our meetup. But one thing that she's requesting is that please ask questions. She doesn't want to be a presentation. Here's my strategy. She wants to be a jam session where we just have a conversation back and forth, how we've been having. That's, I would give you guys a sneak peek and let's get started. I've been investing for 20 plus years. My first ever stock was JDSU in the 90s. You might have noticed my gain in NVIDIA is now at 7,000% instead of 5,000. I finally updated that. And my passion is bringing people together. The information presented is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be interpreted as investment advice, an endorsement, or a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any specific securities. I'm a volunteer and not paid for this presentation. Investing carries significant risk, including the possibility of substantial losses. You should conduct independent research, carefully consider your financial situation, and seek professional guidance before making any investment decisions. Neither I nor any associated individuals accept liability for any investment decisions made based on this information. Who's a first-time volunteer? If you raise your hand, you can speak up. And I want to hear a little bit more about you and how come you decided to join the Leverage ETF meeting tonight.
The questions repeat. Hey, Haley, this is Manny here. I met you at the San Francisco Meetup. Thanks for adding me into this group. I'm looking for some passive or semi-active strategies to invest since I'm a working full-time professional. Look forward to learning more from your meetup.
Nice. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, Manny, and you're definitely a very easy person to talk to. Who else is our first-time attendees over here? Who do I not recognize? I know Laura's been here. Who's KK? First-time attendee, potentially? Or maybe Alex, maybe not. Anyways, let's keep on going. But always feel free to unmute and just speak your mind. I always prefer a conversation than be speaking in front of a computer. So let's do some polls. I want to hear where everyone's from tonight. So I launched a poll. Anyone from Alaska, anyone from Hawaii? We're getting a lot of people from Pacific, Eastern time, anyone from Canada, anyone from over the world. We have a few from Central time, which is the same as Rick.
I'm from the state of confusion.
Where's the best place to eat at the state of confusion?
Wherever you like.
I was born there.
Hey, Allison, welcome back. Happy to have you back. You probably was here when Floyd was here. I'm trying to change things up a little bit. I'm trying to give some stuff to the group throughout the months. We have about 27 participants. We have 21 answers. We got 80%, more than enough. Pareto's principle. Welcome, everyone. We don't have anyone from Mountain Time, surprisingly, this time.
Interesting.
So I want to ask, is the 5 p.m. times working for generally most people?
It is for me in Central Time. Yeah, 7 o'clock is good.
Thank you, James. Thank you for the confirmation. Let's do one more poll. This is the most important poll. How much are we invested? While you guys are doing the polls, you already know I lost some money in the beginning of this year. I traded down a little bit. Then I lost about 10% of my portfolio, but afterwards I gained about 60%. It's looking like I might be ending the year at about a 43% portfolio gain.
Wow.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it similar. My holdings are 0% invested. So this is a little bit easier for consistency's sake. Can we get about 2 more people so we can get to that 80% for that poll? That's 20 out of 28 people, 71% participating. I'm closing the polls in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. As you can see, it's a bell curve leaning a little bit to the right. Most of us are invested, which is very good. The reason why is because how does this market look on technicals? It's great. It's just going up. It's been going up for half a year now. Yeah, about half a year. About in April, it started going up. Nicely done, everyone. One day I'll probably do a data analysis on this to see how the stock market is doing, to track how our group as a whole invests compared to the market and how we time the market. So that'll be a fun little thing that I'll be doing later.
Hey, Hailey, quick question. I was confused because the top mentioned leveraged ETFs and then what percent invested. I thought you were asking what percent invested in leveraged. I don't know if anyone else got confused by that, but just sharing that.
I appreciate that. Well, I'm going to redo the question. I want to clarify is portfolio investment.
Yeah. Okay.
But I know some might be running like 10 portfolios. So just pick whichever metric you like. Cool. I'm going to go back to the presentation, full screen mode. Okay. So James, welcome to the very littly invested club. We should be invested, but we should be a little bit careful with the market. This is how I look at the market. I look at four major things. I look at the daily and weekly performance of the major indexes, pure price action. Price is king. Price defines a lot of things over any other metric. Some people might disagree. Some people would agree. I always look at new highs and new lows. How many issues that are making new highs and new lows. And what people might call this is a Hindenburg omen. So when the new highs and new lows are both going up at the same time, typically that means you have to be really careful of the market. The New York Stock Exchange, NYSE advanced decline line, which we see right over here. I always try to see if there's a divergence. Or S&P 500 is this line, NYSE advanced decline is this line. What's happening? It's going up ever since a few months ago, started trending downwards ever since. And I'm going to show you this search.
Here it is. And it was hopefully the only way. No, it's but Herman Rose and I'm going to spread. But I understand more.
Could you elaborate? I don't understand.
You can mute him.
A sec.
Hey, Hailey, if you want to make me the alternate, I will be glad to be the booter of the talkers.
You're awesome. I'm going to make us. Thank you, BD. Yeah, I have two screens going on right now. This is like harder than trading stocks because I'm looking up to look at the screen, looking down to making sure that who's talking, who's speaking, and stuff like that. So it's a fun little game. So this is my market search, which is really tiny on your screen. So I'm going to enlarge it. I was looking at TSLL.
You must have a very nice high resolution monitor.
Yes, I have a 4K monitor. Or is it 6K? I forgot. It's one of those. So this is how I look at the market. I'm taking a little bit longer today because I'm setting a precedent for future presentations. So NYSE Composite Index, it goes up. Most of the three charts up here doesn't really matter. What I really care about is I look at 10-day moving average, new highs and new lows. There's 124 new highs on a number basis and 36 new lows on a number basis. When both of these lines really go up, that's when I worry, like over here. So imagine if there's a little squeeze, I get worried. So back in July, I was a little worried over here when it was squeezing a bit, but nothing really happened and it just kept on going up. So S&P 500, look at the chart, it's pretty much just going up, right? Remember, trend lines are just random lines that I'm drawing. Now look at the New York Stock Exchange. Now I look at the actual New York line. And what's been happening is you see this topping right here. I want to make it even bigger. You see this topping over here. I feel like it's going a little bit smaller. So if we look at here, when I saw July, it was going up, but it actually corrected itself and it moved even higher. So once it gets corrected, this divergence of the line doesn't really matter anymore. And here, this is when it matters. This area over here, where the NYSE AD line actually goes downwards and the S&P 500 is still moving upwards. We do not care about NASDAQ. NASDAQ historically the AD line has always gone lower. So I only look at the NYSE line. I'm keeping a very close watch right now to see if it kind of rectifies here. Because once it rectified, my next buy point should have turned on and I should have bought again. I missed the September rally. You can't always look at how I look at the general market. Look at NASDAQ. How's it doing? Still going up. Yep, still going up. Slope is a little less. 21-day. If you believe in moving averages, it seems to be respecting. It used to respect the 21, but there's 3 violations. But it's hands down respecting the 50. 50 might be the support. Who knows? The reason why I'm unconfident is because it's like, when I'm talking to some people I respect, they're saying, you're just drawing random lines. It doesn't matter. The only thing that really matters is price and see how the price action is. Just watch the ticker, and that's all that really matters, how the price goes up and down. So if you want to look at NASDAQ, if you want to see the mass decline line, it just goes down and down. Yes, it does go up once in a while, but generally speaking, it's a downward trend. Any questions on this before I move on? I'm going to switch my screen share. Oh, and distribution days, that's just the IBD saying if it's 0.2% down or higher volume than the day before, it matters. And right now, let me check on the distribution day. I'm just checking my phone. There's 4 distribution days on the NASDAQ and 3 on the S&P 500, and IBD is recommending a 80 to 100% exposure. And today's pretty much market snapshot is bullish, broad gains, S&P and NASDAQ and S&P 500 scores highs. So now let's go into stock market analysis. Is there any stocks that you guys are trading that you guys are unsure of that you want a second opinion, either mine or someone in the group? I'm going to open up the chat too so I can see the chat window in case anyone types. Manny types Tesla. I'm going to be looking at Tesla first. Keep them coming. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to try to start with weekly chart first to see how fundamentals, technicals are. Is the sizing okay for this? Yes. So weekly
for me on my small laptop.
This is a 34, 36-inch monitor I'm using. We had a stalling week on Tesla. We had it on a slightly higher volume, about 21%. After this breakout over here, it's been doing well. Tesla came out with a new lower cost model, and the market wasn't very excited about it, and it actually dropped down 4.5% on that day that it got announced. And what price action is telling us is it's actually going lower. Yes, it's closing on the top of the bar, but I'm seeing a penetration of the lower of the previous day's lows, which I get a little concerned about. So that's my opinion. Anyone else have a little bit more either news on it or technical analysis on it that they want to share? Okay. We're going to move on to WDC. Ooh, what a behemoth.
Yeah, it's been a beautiful thing.
Sales are doing great. Did they recently do an acquisition? Is that why their sales are almost doubling in a year? Yeah, because when I see sales double by 80%, especially for a mature company, I'm like, there's got to be something that happened.
It might have, although Seagate and SanDisk have also been rockets, but I'm not sure about their sales. This has been a hot area. But I'm curious about people's opinion of this pullback. Sold it up near the top, and I bought it again right at 120 there on this pull. I bought it yesterday, and I'm like, we think it'll hold that 21 or drop below. Curious people's ideas of what the odds would favor.
My perception is the storage group overall is showing some weakness last few days. I think I would look at group strength before taking a new position in that group, just because they've had such a great run. WDC has, STX has, SNDK has, recently NU, which is storage kind of memory, but has also had a good run. But they're all hesitating a little bit, especially the pure play storage funds. So that's my only concern with VC and its other kind of bucket.
Yeah, they all dropped off pretty simultaneously. I don't know if it was just taking profits because they're all holding like their 21-day or even their 10 days lines. The last couple of days, I think. I actually didn't look at Seagate or Indus today.
I think one thing I would look at is the extension from the 50-day line and see how extreme that is compared to history. That might give us a sense of risk on that group.
Yeah, so what I pulled up just now is the industry ranking and also the stocks in the group. So it's Micron Technology, Seagate, Western, Pure, NetApp, SanDisk, all these guys. And it's been a rocket ship. As in, it went from, let's say, a breakout of 1,600, and now it's at 2,400. 50% on it, the whole industry. Rocket.
So I have an interview that I put myself, which looks at the extension from the 200-day and the 50-day line. WDC is pretty much like as far extended as ever has been the last 2 weeks. Yeah. So that's good too. Because we know that the further it gets from the 10-week/50-day, the more likely you are to see a significant pullback. And right now, even after the pullback, it is higher than prior to this particular its entire history. That's my.
My history of trading tight flags have only been like 2 or 3 winners. So I'm like, I don't know. But I want to take a look at SanDisk to see how they're doing. Damn. 50 to about 130. That's insane. Especially pure storage or data storage. Any other comp?
PSTG is pure storage, but it's got more software. The comp would be STX.
Oh,
he fumbled it.
that's
In 4.
why is Seagate pulling back to that? So
One of the things that I'm noticing that as the data centers come online, while everyone's looking at NVIDIA and AMD and the data center companies, somewhere all this data is going to be stored. So that's where I think Seagate and Western Digital got a spot.
Sure. But it's, I don't know. AI changes every week and there's different bottlenecks, so I'm always confused.
From the even read them
It's the processors for NVIDIA, now it's storage. Then all of a sudden, next is going to be like, if we have enough data, because I'm in the more AI hardware scene. So they always tell me we need more data for motion, capturing cleaning motion, capturing construction motion. What's the next one? Any other comments on the data storage industry? We're going to.
Is that background noise where you are?
That's me. I wasn't able to go home from my office, so I'm like,
Gotcha.
so I'll mute myself ever so slightly when I'm not talking now. Thank you for the heads up. So, HUD, what's going on? Fundamentals great, sales up, earnings up. If we look at good earnings, it's going great. It's $1. It's finally starting to make a little bit of money. It's definitely the meme stock of everything. And if you bought it in 2023, 2024, or the beginning of 2024, did a very good job.
If you want to learn,
I want to ask Glenn, why do you ask about HUD?
the 100 greatest like buyer.
And I'll go to, while Glenn's thinking about it, I'm going to go into the daily chart. So we're going to look at it. So how's the RS line? RS line is actually making new highs, that doing very, very strong. We're seeing, oh, I have an average of RS line coming. It's probably has a blue dot right now. It's going even higher. So I see it's just there's more room to grow. And we're going to look at any other comments about HUD?
I think that's you have two different RS lines set.
Yeah.
A blue one and a green one. Yeah.
So if I have it, or so
I did that by accident when I first got market surge and there's
Or some players were scared.
did an industry group RS line.
So yeah,
I want my blue to be higher than my green.
Hmm.
So it's a good thing.
So your blue is the S&P 500 and green is industry group.
you were Greece. It's a more
Mainly, this blue is the SP 500. This green is industry. So it's been going better than the industry. And with the blue, yeah, since this time frame.
the primary.
Yeah, so you see Schwab, the RS line is here. And then as you see, the industry is actually ticking up while Schwab is lagging a little bit. So that's how I look at the RS line for a quick industry versus individual stock. Okay, now we're going to look at Wi-Fi. BYFI. It's HPC, high performance. Everyone knows it.
It's high performance computing. It's very closely related to, like, it's basically things like simulations, physical kind of modeling of large scale, like computation, things like Monte Carlo simulations with HPC.
So supercomputers, motion capture, very fast computing. Not quantum yet. So how I look at IPOs, I usually just look at daily, especially when it's this new. So it's made about 50% gain since it's breakout right over here. I do want to look at this first day to see actually what that's. First day breakout. How about this chart? Wow. I didn't go back far enough. I want to take a look at the 30-minute. I have to go to another program to look at 30-minute, but I'll look at it next time. But if it's an IPO stock, usually there's a breakout line. It goes up, seeing how the breakout pre-action is pretty good. We have a towering sea of blue bars that's going over here. It's doing quite well. Honestly, IPOs are doing phenomenally well compared to the past like 3 years right now. And I haven't seen IPOs do this well. And I used to trade a lot of IPOs. Let's look at Core. Core was definitely a darling. I put an alert to potentially buy it, but I never did. So I did another alert. If it goes past this line, hasn't hit my alert yet, to see if it goes back up. Let's look at the daily chart. You could do a trend line, and then you could buy over here. If you did, you'd be doing okay. 110, 20, 122. You bought it. You're probably at 143 right now. So 10%. Not too bad. Usually you see me barely mention any of my sales or earnings because it's a very new stock. If there's a lot of excitement behind it, people would just buy it, as you've seen with IPOs of the past. Okay. We're at about 5:30 right now. So I'm going to take a look at a few more interesting IPOs. Let's take a look at one of my screeners I like to see near pivot, to see stuff potentially breaking out that has good earnings and fundamentals. Ascending base. Second stage ascending base, absolutely beautiful. RS lines going higher and higher. Industry groups is at 3. I might be a little careful because I'm not very bullish on mining right now. But hey, I've been wrong for the past few months. Let's look at HIMS, healthcare. This is looking like it's forming a cup with handle. Gonna be a low handle around $60.55. Sales good. Price pattern is pretty good. There's a little bit of a slowdown that happened today, but that doesn't really matter. This almost classifies as a double bottom, but it didn't undercut on the right side. So that's why it's only a cup with a little small handle. And the cup with handle, yeah, the buy point is 60.65, which is 10 cents above the little breakout. Let's see what's been happening with breakouts. Grail, GRAIL, healthcare company with cancer detection, volume, phenomenal, 64%. Daily chart is a cup base and already hit beyond the 25. There's some ants that's coming in with a little black line, doing beautiful. AMD had earnings this week. They're absolutely phenomenal. It dropped down the first day, but it's been going up. Some people have asked me why you get a big earnings bar but closed down. You get an inside bar, but on the third bar, it rocketed up. Look at this freaking sky towering bars of blue. If the stock market was a voting machine, it says, I want to go up. It already beat the high of the. Sorry, this wasn't earnings. This was AMD partnership. AMD. Yes, thank you. It was AMD partnership with OpenAI. And that's why I made that move. And it's still rocketing higher. I always like taking at recent breakouts to see how things are going. Copper's doing well. Dell Technologies surprisingly came up on the screen. It's also doing not bad. ORA, Format Technologies, Geothermal Energy. It's doing well. Breakouts are doing overall pretty well. That's why since most of us are on the right side, nicely done. Should be making money. Any other stocks any people want to look at before I move on? Cool.
Plug Power is getting a little bit of press. ELUG, they're the hydrogen guys.
Energy has definitely been getting pretty good. Took a look at a few other energy. Let's see what's been going on the weekly chart. Sales, it's getting low on sales. Never earned any money. I'm gonna go back even further. I want to take a look at monthly chart to see what the heck has been going on with Plug. It IPO in 1999, had a huge downturn in 2013, and it's still doing its thing at a $4.3 billion market cap. I'm analyzing fundamentals now. And you're having about 600 million in sales every year, and you're still losing money. How the heck is this still surviving? Every year has lost money, and it's projected to lose money. But hey, maybe this will be interesting. Because if we take a look at the volume, honestly, that's a lot of blue volume. And on this last day where it closed close 33% close range, that was the capitulation day, and it's been pretty darn good for the weekly chart. Just looking at the sea of blue. Gilbert asked for FIGR. Ooh, that's beautiful. RS line blue dot, meaning it makes an all-time new strong move. It definitely, these days always confuse me, but I'm starting to go on the part where if it breaks out higher like this, where the price action bar on top just goes higher, that's a good sign. But you would want to keep a close eye below the low of this bar or maybe this bar. Just really keeping a close eye on the price action. Any other last requests before I switch screens? So most of us here do trade leverage ETFs and growth stocks. So let's get a update on the levered edge strategy. So there was a new buy on the lucky number 825. It's been pretty much going up. You can see all the buys, sells. That's about it. So you're pretty much still invested. Any questions? And yes, I'm going to try my best to send this out even earlier. I know it took me like 3 weeks to send all this out.
Share the trading view chart with us.
For this one?
Yes. Is it your own annotated chart?
So I'll share with you in 2 slides, and I can show you trading view. This is from Gary Taylor. This is his annotated chart. He's the one who put this together. He told me I can present it. I'm like, sweet, thank you, Gary.
Got it. Thank you.
I'll show you my chart that I use to watch stocks. Performance-wise, what's the best performing in the past month? It's going to be Soxel, and then the Micro Centers and FANG, and then it goes into the technology bulls, then TQQ, which is at 18 for the past month. But these are all the ones that works with his levered edge strategy that he's back tested himself. So if you're in Soxel, good job. performance as of October 7th. This is my trading view for my leverage ETF strategy using levered edge. I think I need to rename these titles.
Leveraged edge.
Levered, yeah, because it's levered edge. And then I'm doing leverage ETFs. I like life is hard for myself. But since we're here, right, why are we here live? Because we want to see the real stuff, right? So I'm going to share with you my trading view to show you the leverage edge, the levered edge product that I use and I do pay for. I don't get this for you guys. So I'm not sponsored. Gary's not paying me to do this. I just really like his strategy and he's a damn good guy. So this is my leverage ETF. So what's happening in these 8 freaking charts? There's 4 different tickers that I like looking at. TQQQ. Oopsies. Or I forgot which one this one is. This should be, I think it's TECN.
SOXL is your second one?
This, oh yes, it
So
is
we can-
XOSL. Thank you. I don't even know my own charts.
Doesn't say.
Yeah.
Up
Oh,
in
it
the upper
does.
left, yeah.
Top left. Soxel, Bangu, and this is TECL. I might actually change TECL on TQQQ because it's a little too similar. I use a Maxos option R. So I'm trying to make all the months very similar. So it's June to October. So this is what if you do Gary's product and you see all the buys and sell, all the annotations yourself. So you see what's on top and what's on bottom. The difference is I'm using a daily system versus a weekly system. Most people typically use a weekly system. I have a few errors in my weekly system that I need to talk to Gary about because I have a cross. This pretty much says it's sold here and never rebought. If on the daily chart, there was actually a profit target reached and it's like, hey, the market's still doing well. I'm going to buy back in. Same thing with almost everything else. You're in the market, you're in the market, and you're in the market. So every single, most indicators, you're just in the market. Any questions on the levered edge update? So
It's hard to see the screen on the previous one. Do you rotate in and out or move your money in your portfolio in different leveraged ETFs when one of them is outperforming the other, or do you just stick with the few standard ones?
So the past 3 years, I've been doing leverage ETFs. All I really do is invest in certain periods of time and buy 2 different leverage ETFs and switch between them to see how they're going. Only recently this year, I started expanding my world to different leverage ETFs. Historically, I've been making pretty well for the past 3 years, beating every single market with leverage ETFs. So I was like, wait, I can beat the market even more. I think I held my stocks for 3 or 4 months and I gained about 60%. I'm like, you know what? That's good enough for me. I'm not going to be greedy. I'm trying to simplify my life right now and do the stuff I do better instead of trying to do more. I have a problem of like doing everything. I try to say yes to everything. So I'm trying to compact things. Everything I said yes to, I'm going to make it as efficient and systemized as possible to make my brain a little easier and to just do stuff.
Got it. Thank you. And also, have you taken a look at TARK? That's a leveraged ETF as well. That's been doing well for about a few weeks now. Maybe something we can look at it later on.
Sure. TARK. Is that a leverage ARK ETF?
That is correct. Twice ARK.
Oh, that is crazy. Someone's doing that. All right, I'm going to add it to my leverage index ETFs list. So this is something I'm going to have. This is something I'm going to try to have every single month. I only really care about market movers if it affects the market about 1%, right? 0.2%, it's okay. So major markets, major events that potentially affects the stock market. The one we all know that's coming up is the FOMC meeting. I just look at it to see what is the probability of rate cut. The current rate is about 400 to 425, and there's a 94.6% chance as of October 7th that's going to happen. This changes every so often. And there's only going to be a 5.4% chance of it staying the same. The cool thing about seeing this website is that you can project up to the end of the year to see where will interest rates be in a year. Instead of hearing news articles, you just go directly to the source. Okay. Any questions before I start sharing my confusions and my learnings of the San Francisco IBD joint meetup? Oh yeah, and Rick and Manny, since you both were there, feel free to chime in.
All right.
Okay. This is from Amy Smith. She says volume really matters because you're going to see some of these names with massive sales, massive earnings. And on the breakout, volumes were just phenomenal. So it's like, how much did breakout for volume? How much did the stock gain? Yes, this sometimes get a little confusing. I'm not sure if that's a typo or not, but I hope it isn't because 268% gain, that's quite substantial. So if you take a look at triple digit earnings, double digit sales at least, you'll see how much more they have gained, especially on the volume on the breakout. So I think that's the only slide on volume. So the main problem with this is that you guys know Mike Webster and Harry Friedman. So what they said was that volume doesn't matter. Volume is just a bunch of noise and it's just so dirty, meaning that there's so many like dark pools and dark market that when I was researching it, it says maybe half the data, even more of the data could just be not there. So it's hard to use volume. So it's better to just watch on a purely price basis. And Harry Friedel did something similar where he sent out a test a bunch of different volume bars and how it affects. And participants couldn't pick one that's better than the other. But it could be just sample size and choosing of stock markets. And those are two people I do respect. That's absolutely great because it causes me to rethink my own trading strategies and gives me more weighted pricing versus volume instead of half and half, which I used to do. It's probably more like 80-20. So with a grain of salt. We don't know who the person is. They're not really seeing the name. This actually happened to somebody. This person made a million off of 10K from in 2 years, probably less than 2 years. He started in early 2023. Very good presentation by Lee Tanner. Can ask Hans for the presentation. They used margin and they kept on investing more and more as the portfolio got bigger and bigger. So what did that look like on our chart? The members' initial position is right over here. And as it started going up, he sold it right in the middle of this year. Lee also did a presentation on if I was to hold it according to my buy and sell rules, where do I buy? Where do I sell? The member bought it until it violated I'm pretty sure that's going to be I'm not sure if that's the 10-week moving average or if that's the 50-week moving average. But it violated probably, I'm going to say, the 40-week moving average. And that's when he sold it and made $1 million. Good job. I'm spending a little more time on this one because it's mind-blowing. That's insane amount of dedication. And this might be your big win of the year. And $1 million, honestly, is life-changing money for most people. So they follow the rules. They bought 100 shares at 120, bought 20%, which is 25 shares. Now you're at 145, bought 20% more, which is 30 shares, and keep on doing that until you end up with 645 shares with your last add-on of 110 shares, which is bigger than your initial position size. This is from Rajiv. These are different signals from different leaders inside the space. You have the Wu indicator, if it's off or on. You have the COPEX curve, which Rajiv does with the follow-through day. The COPEX increases the accuracy of follow-through day by 80%. This is weekly, monthly, and drawdown. The main thing I want to tell you guys is the weekly COPEX combined with the follow-through day makes the follow-through day so much more accurate, more likely to succeed in a bullish trend so we can make money because most of us here are trend followers. If we're playing leverage, we want to make sure it goes up because if it goes up, if you double your position 100% up, only takes 50% up. Frank did a really interesting presentation on AI and hardware robotics. I'm a hardware guy myself, mechanical engineering, aerospace background, right? Drones, TDK, stuff that gets done by hand and stuff that's visible, tangible and visible in the real world. I think he's saying this might be the new thing to watch out for, where AI might affect because we're already on the software side. So the next growth stage might be mechanical. Oh, there you go. I did put a slide here. So I'm just going to read it out because I know some people are just listening in. This slide is pretty much saying a high percentage of follow-through days fail. Rajiv he did a study to determine if there were some predictors of a market rally success that was coincident with follow-through days. He did this with Mike Scott and a bunch of other people. And pretty much what he found out was if a COPEX buy signal and a Eureka signal happened, the follow through day succeeded 88% of the time. But what happens in bear market rallies? The bear rallies is only successful 57% of the time. That's pretty good. And the Copic curve should be within about 4 weeks. And it's not, the follow through day failed 73% of the time in bull markets and 95% of the time in bear markets. And this is after intensive studies of decades and decades of stock market. So that's why I always highly recommend going to the Copic curve along with the follow through day. And you can also follow Rajiv, and he gives updates and stuff like that. So there was also an interesting tax strategy from Jun Watanabe over in Pasadena. He was part of the US Investing Championship and was a runner up. So he was one of the top candidates. And what he does is taxes. And pretty much he just says, hey, these are ways to just minimize your taxes. Roth IRA, traditional IRA. And remember, tax loss harvesting is only $3,000 annual limit. So if you lose $100,000, just make it back. It will take a very long time to write it off. You can also move to places with no state income taxes. Don't move to San Francisco with me. You're going to get hit with 15% taxes, the sunshine tax. Move to places like Florida, Texas, Nevada with no state income taxes. If you want to be super aggressive and pay even less taxes, Puerto Rico, UAE, there's no capital gains tax. But he always says, hey, be careful. There's legal and lifestyle, what you have to do. If you like holding for a long term, heirs can inherit assets at market value, so you can erase unrealized gains. So what if you're a really smart guy working at Apple and you used to run meetups and you can no longer really focus on it too much? You need help, you need simplification. And that's where Ashish Davi comes in. He used to hold regular meetings and now looks at monthly market indicators. And these are the indicators he consistently looks at to see, should I invest? Should I not invest? And as you can see, he does something similar to me. New highs, new lows, oil, Bitcoin, IBD, Kathy Woods, small caps, big caps, international like China, financials, transportation. This is his indicator of how to simplify trading in the market. It's almost as if playing the market a month at a time. I don't make money from this. I don't get a commission. If you want the Zoom link and the slides, just send $50 via PayPal over to Hans over turf1gmail.com, and he'll give you all the slides and presentation. It costs a lot of time and effort to run his conference, and this is easily worth at least 100 times the value of $50. This has some people who manage, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 100 million. Actually, I do know some of them that manage 100 million. So I was like, they're bigger than mom and pop. Any questions, any slides you want me to go through, anything you want me to dig a little deeper on? I do have their slide deck and I can go deeper on any of these presentations. Manny, Rick, what did you guys gain from this?
For me, it was about the margins. When Lee says that the risk is less and it's like counterintuitive. I do understand that your initial risk is 10,000 and you can hit a button and then get out anytime you want. And it is counterintuitive to human psychology. And of course, with margin, your leverage is too much. But I think you need to rewire your mind on how you see risk. And Hans also talks about our risk return strategies. Our mind is just not wired to handle all these things, just the evolutionary thing that Hans always mentions. So that's one thing. And the other thing I liked was the bucket investing by Rajiv Jain, where you put some money into a basket of stocks that's facilitated by Fidelity, and you can invest just as little as $100 into 10 or 15 different basket of stocks that's chosen by Jerry Sammet. That's one thing that stood out. And then the other thing that I liked about was Harry Freebell's system, the meatball trading system.
Yes.
So those are the things that comes to my mind. I want simple things. When you see a chart and ask to break it down based on different parameters, fundamentals, technicals, you can do all your research, analysis, and interpretation. So, yeah, it is a great event. It's definitely worth attending one in person.
Yeah, it was like, I don't remember how much it was. It's a drop in the bucket. It's less than a market search subscription. It's less than probably trading view subscription too.
I think it was $175 in person or something, and like 50 for the Zoom. And you could still probably buy the Zoom and get the recordings.
Yes.
The whole weekend was so good, and it was just a blur for me. It was my first time. Last year, I attended on Zoom, and some of the presentations changed my whole outlook. It was life-changing with Alex Marinko, and I forget the other guy's name. This year, I had to fly from Houston to do it in person. The personal connections were just terrific. Most of the presentations are a bit of a blur at this point. I really plan to be rewatching all the presentations live. But Manny was saying about Rajiv and Jerry's. Basically, you can make your own ETF through Fidelity for $5 a month. You can have your own basket of stocks, putting ones in and taking ones out whenever you want, and trading them as an ETF, as a single entity, which sounded really fascinating. And they're using, what was it, Jerry Samet's list of 20 leading stocks that he's been putting out for years. That was just one little tidbit of the weekend.
What's the advantage of having them in ETF rather than just buy them individually and have in your portfolio?
I think the balance that he was talking about, you can set the balance if you want them all equal weighted, or just ease of use. I think if you're going to do 20 stocks, you just buy and sell in one place rather than 20 buys and sells. I forget if there's any other useful tidbits, but that's the main one that struck me.
Have anybody seen the Zoom yet? Is it the same as in person, or they leave a lot of things out?
It is 90% there.
The Zoom only has audio and recordings of the screen. It doesn't have any video of the presenters.
Do you mean it doesn't have the presentation?
It has their presentation, like what they put on the screen for us and what they were broadcasting through Zoom, their presentation, their slides or their live screens or whatever they were showing. But they didn't have any cameras on the presenter themselves, like we see Hailey now. We would just see his screen that he's presenting. We don't see the presenter themselves, their headshots or anything. Does that make sense?
I'm going to give you an example. So this is Mike Webster's presentation. I'm going to mute it. So all you hear is the slides and you just hear the audio in the back. I'll share some of that.
So Hans did send this out?
He sent it out.
I missed her. I'm looking for it now in my emails. Cool, thank you.
It should be from Ida over Turf. I'm trying my best to respect Hans and not sending anyone the link. I accidentally shared one of the screens with the link.
When did Ida send it?
Ida sent it
October 5th, 11:56 p.m.
Thank you, Manny. You know what's an interesting thing about this? It's that other people has took Mike Webster's this little example and try to package them as their own stock market class, and they're trying to make money off like what Mike Webster say and says their own proprietary system. And Mike is like, why would you even do that? But people try to make money in different ways.
I don't hear it.
Suck.
And then
really
sell
funny.
everything at the Grateful Dead. And then I heard a question. Oh, you can't ask without he's gonna Hans will come.
Yeah. So that's what the audio sounds.
They were very attentive. Hans was particularly attentive, trying to make with the attention on the Zoom people to make sure that if somebody asked a question that they had a microphone or the speaker would repeat the question. We weren't always that good about getting the microphone, but Hans really tried hard.
Yes, he did. He made sure that everyone buys him dinner. I have way too many. So pretty much, there we go. So just send $50 to Hans if you want to see all the recordings. So we're nearing the end of today. I know some members have requested me to try to trim it down to an hour, especially if there's not too much meat. But maybe when Vibha Jha comes on.
Can you go over the $1 million from NVIDIA? I still can't believe that happened.
So, yes, let me go over that. I'm going to go through the slides and I'm going to download Lee Tanner's slides. Actually, I'm going to download his Excel file. I think that's a little easier.
I'm glad you guys mentioned that about the email. I do not see that I received that email from Ida with the links, so I'll contact her.
I'm glad I was helpful.
Did you get the earlier emails from Ida during the meetups? She used to send the agenda the day before and everything.
I got the agendas on Saturday and Sunday, and the follow-up one about the memorial fund for Amy Smith's
Right.
films, but not the one with the links, not the one with the videos.
I would say check your spam, all mails, archives as well, just in case.
I did a search in Outlook for all mailboxes.
So, Arlene, were you the one who asked about how to make $1 million? This is just a model stock portfolio. Lee will explain it in every detail and between email Lee. So, initial position, they paid 187. Fall through day was 106. The exposure is 40 to 60%. Bought about 100 shares, cost them 20,000 ish position. So, pretty much as they bought positions, they added one on 125 because it was doing pretty well because they had a gain of 2.8. Enough. So there's an earnings release. Now the initial position is 10. Probably jumped up by about 10%. Looks like they did another on post market. Then added on 3 was after a gentle pullback like a handle. You have to correlate with the chart to see price action. Then you did another add on 4. And now you're just buying more. Add on 5. There's a continuation gap. That was another add on buy. He's borrowing more and has a 9% annual interest rate. He's borrowing more, add on 6, borrowing more, and now he's at 200% invested. I'm not going to go through every trade. As you go to the bottom, your net value turns into like over $1 million. This is 5 minutes down and dirty. He told us every single buy point, why'd you buy? And in the model, he has 23 different add-on buys until you just made $1 million. Anything I could help double click on. Cool.
There were times the NVIDIA's went down, so he never came out. How does he know NVIDIA is going to do this? I guess how long is this? 1 year?
I'm going to go to the last one. January 2023 to May 2024.
So how does he know NVIDIA is going to, he hit the jackpot, but how does he know that?
Long story short, the cushion. Because the risk of capital is only $20,000. And from his $20,000 position, it was able to grow about 500%. So that means he had a very large cushion to play with. And he was playing with his large cushion sell rules so that he was able to keep even through January, March, February, March, April, where it was a pretty harsh turn. So we go to over here, position wise, he wasn't doing too bad. Every position had a gain, and he was just on his big cushion where he's just going to keep on keeping it until something hits. That's what Manny was saying, where it's like you have to change your mind about margin. You're deep in the money and you're making a lot of money. Your margin interest alone is more than your initial position at 21,000, and that's how they kept it.
So what is his entry point? How did he decide on the entry and the exits?
It's a follow through day, and then probably broke out.
Yeah, Lee has very strict buy rules and sell rules, right? Amongst all the presenters, I think he's the most standard. He follows IBD rules very strictly, and he's got his own set of rules that he's posted in his Petaluma meetup.
Yes.
Hailey, I'm not mistaken, right?
You are correct.
He's the most
joined.
orthodox presenter I've met.
I need to maybe find that link again. I know it's somewhere, and I don't want to go through my email here. So, any other quick questions I can answer for you, Sylvia?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Let's take a look at Debo. So, 2-time U.S. investing champion. She's done very well from health. She's 100% return and a 70% return in 2021, 100% return, 2023, 70% return. So she's done very well. She's publicly willing to share her strategy. One of the reasons why she's willing to share her strategy with us is because of Floyd and Gary Taylor. I'm trying to continue their legacy through the historical YouTube videos of how to use triple leverage ETFs or double leverage ETFs and different types of ETFs to help grow your own portfolios. One thing she has requested of all of us is please send me questions. I'll compile all the questions. I'll be the moderator. She'll have a short 15, maybe 30-minute presentation about her strategy and how you can use it for yourself. She really wants to help us as traders to grow our own wealth. She's very adamant about not presenting to everyone. She's not a presenter who gets paid $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 for speaking engagement. She only wants to present to certain groups of people. And because she's very thankful for the group that brought her attention to leverage ETFs like Floyd, she is willing to present to us. Please thank the people of the past.
Very cool.
How many people do we have left in here? I can't see the participants list.
It's
Yes, I
28.
can. 28. For the 28 people that are left, I know I mentioned this in the beginning, so the early comers already know this little Easter egg. I'm trying to bring value to everyone here. Yes, we meet up once a month, but throughout the month, we have 29. So I try to add value throughout the month. So what I'm going to, oops, I don't want to show you guys my calendar because it's a bunch of my personal stuff. I'm trying to give you guys this whole list I'm building here. And I shared the link for this presentation, which you'll receive after. But you know what? I'm just going to put it in the chat because you guys are all here already. Multiple people have sent me their leverage ETFs lists and the leverage individual stock lists. So I'm creating multiple lists to make it easier to read. I'm making a leverage stock ETF too. And as you can see, it's sorted by percent return. So you can see how to especially leverage up in your IRA accounts in places where you can't margin. What I'm going to do is add probably 8 industries to it and add sections to make it a little bit cleared up. If it's communication, if it's oil, if it's mining, if it's technology, whatever it is. So that's the kind of the sneak peek of stuff I'm working on this month. I'll release it whenever it's ready because we don't need to wait a month. And I'd rather iterate quicker. We're not a large group. We're a tiny community. I'd rather iterate quicker than wait for month 1, iterate, month 2, iterate, and stuff like that. So that's something I'm working on. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. TradingView is a free software you can use. If you can't get 8 charts up here, it's because it needs a premium subscription. So that's
for the leverage ETF watch list. And
Yes.
the others trading views thing that you had multiple charts on, you said you need a premium subscription. Is it
Correct.
in this setup or is this layout even shareable?
I've never looked into it.
That's okay. If you come across it, please.
Oh, I can. Oh no, this is just an idea at the current point of time. I've done that before. I can download an image. Okay, I'll figure it out. Michael asks, have I asked AI to make a list of leverage ETFs in the associated industry group? I haven't, but I might. I've been manually doing it with pen and paper. So I'm going to write that down.
I'm old, but I've been doing it manually.
I'm like, there's something about, I like pen. I always have pen and paper handy. I like reading in the morning. I don't like looking at a computer screen 24/7. I have enough time with the electrons already. I just want some time with the sun. So Michael, I love it that you're lazy because I always go to the laziest people and they find me the quickest solution because I don't want to work. Here's the answer. I'm like, thank you.
We call it economy of motion.
Economy of motion. Okay. Economy of motion. So is there any other charts you guys want me to look at this month? Is there any other presentation, the IBD meetup you guys want me to look up? Kind of members request anything. Happy to go into it. Use our collective brain power to just hone in a little bit. You're welcome, Michael. Cool. If there's no other questions, we get to end the meetup early tonight. Is everyone okay with that? Then we get to have a little earlier dinner. Ooh, thank you for the thumbs up, Alex. Then I'm gonna stop the screen share. But you guys always feel free to just message the Google groups. I have to approve every single message. Actually, you guys want to do something fun that I've been wanting to try. In one of my other meetups, we asked everyone to turn on the videos and take a group photo. That'll hopefully promote the group a bit more, get a few more brain power insight. I'm going to try to make a whole classroom out of all of us. Does anyone know how to do this? Sometimes I'm really dumb with technology.
It's the you.
Thank you. You're awesome, dude. What do we have? 25 people? Let's start this immersive view. Hey, Carl. Oh, wow. I'm the presenter. If everyone could turn on your camera, Mike, Frank, Michael, Guatan, Scott, James, Sylvia. Okay. I'm going to take a picture here and all cool. Got the screenshot. I'll share with the group. But we're not ending the meeting. I'm going to look at a few more stocks. Actually, it's the wrong screen.
Hailey, I was trying to get a copy of the list of the leverage ETFs that you shared in that link. I can load it up into TradingView, but I was trying to load it up into a browser because I'm on my second laptop and I'm not logged into TradingView there. Anyway, you can just export the actual list of tickers?
Of course. Yeah. That's actually really easy.
Okay.
It's harder to share it live, actually. Took me a wait a second. Import a list, but it's harder for me to export. I'm just gonna screenshot it, which I can easily do. Then I'm gonna throw it in the chat.
I like TradingView a lot, but the one place that I stumble on is exporting and importing lists of tickers. I find that I stumble over that all the time. I can pull them in and out of Market Surge really easy or Thinkorswim, but not TradingView, especially import. Do others find the same thing? Or they find it easy? Maybe there's a way.
I tried importing. Importing is fine. I don't think I've ever tried exporting, but I think people trading views also try and lock people into their system.
You can export as CSV. It's complicated to do, but you can do it.
Okay,
Or
I'll try doing that.
Yeah.
What's going on with my market search?
Hey, Haley, call
There
me
we go.
afterwards. I'll try to walk you through that.
How many symbols are in this list?
Too many.
50 something.
Who was that? Who was that? Can help me walk through the export?
Me, BD.
Got it. Thank you. I don't recognize your voice yet.
Sorry, I'm
The booming voice. Okay. You're the Morgan Freeman in our group. What you're saying?
He's the Lee Tanner of this group.
Oh, he is the Lee Tanner of our group, actually. Lee, you always hear him talk.
Lee's got an amazing voice, and he's pretty elderly. He looks 80 or something, but man, he is sharp as a tack and still voice fills a room. He's amazing.
He does.
I hope I have
honestly
his
does.
energy at his age, man.
Sylvia has requested to look at PWR, so Quanta Services. They do heavy construction on utility infrastructure. It tried to break out of its new high. It's definitely trying to break out this week. Sales is good. Earnings is good. Yearly earnings have been going up. There's a bunch of institutional ownerships that's owning it. Barron, Allspring, JP Morgan. I know some of us don't really like trusting this. I still like that as a 5% baseline. I had a down day today. That's a little concerning because it was a pretty good day at the market. Yesterday was good, even though yesterday had a down day in the market. That's why the RS line went up. It's not at a new RS line high over here. The volume, it's a little bit concerning, but it's in a base, and base is usually not that great. I love the low volume on the right side. It looks pretty good. The biggest question is always, is it viable? Sure, follow your rules. It's doing well. Industry's doing well. It's 9 out of 197. Price looks pretty good this week. Yes, there's a balloon on the red, but that's when it's forming the base. AMD, I'll quickly go over it. It announced a partnership with OpenAI, and it's doing very well. On the first day when it released, it wasn't doing so hot. It actually it went below its announcement period, and it just kept trending low for the whole day. Next day, different story, same story almost, where it popped up and just went down. On the third day, it was like, nope, we got all the weak holders and we're going up. Please stop me if I'm going too fast. I'm just doing quick and down and dirty analysis. We're gonna look at ASML. It's manufacturer of chips. It's a big fat cup. When it's something like this, what I usually like going is I like going to monthly chart, looking how it's going. So it's been consolidating since kind of 2011. It's been going higher. I think it's been squeezing a little bit. So we'll see if it goes more to the upside, more to the downside. Remember, imaginary lines. I like drawing for myself. On the breakout, it's okay. Remember, volume is also dirty. So trust it how you want. Price is good. Price is good. Price says stalling. Some support. RS line is definitely going lower. This might not be the strongest in the group to buy, though. I want to see if there's any better stocks inside this semiconductor equipment. So AIS.
Maybe LRCX, Lam Research.
Lam Research, that is phenomenal. We're taking a look at the weekly chart. It broke past its previous high. It broke out in April. There was some tight area into a breakout. It's beautiful. Lam is doing very good. Yearly earnings are finally breaking out. It's been in the $3 and it finally broke out to $4. It's been increasing sales, been increasing earnings, so they're doing something right. So this is probably one of the stronger stocks to look at.
I think ASML has earnings either next week or the weekend. It's pretty soon.
October 22nd. So about the week after next. 2 weeks. We're going to look at EKR. As you guys know, it's doing very well. It's always very safe to trade, according to some of my hedge fund friends. Breakout. Remember, volume is dirty, so I trust it. Price action is phenomenal. Yes, it's low volume, but come on, it's going up. Earnings is just making more and more money every year. Some people love IBKR because of its low margin trading, low interest on the margin. Let's see if there's any better ones in the industry. Futu. Oh, that's China, isn't it? Different beast. China. We're going to take a look at Vertiv Holdings. They do electrical equipment for data centers and communication networks. They're making a lot of money. They had a huge run in 2023 and 2024. Hey guys, this could be your next $1 million NVIDIA play right there. Went from $15 to $100. Not bad, but it does have presence of a major run. And NVIDIA, as if you guys have followed, NVIDIA, if you followed in the past, has had major runs similar to it. So it has a precedence of having a lot of interest. More,
Is it too late to get into it now?
which one?
ERT.
It depends on your buy and sell rule. This is because it undercut the previous stage, so it failed. So it's a new base now. Do you believe that this industry can go up higher? Does the breakout look good? Yeah, price action looks great. Even if we go into daily, instead of looking at the whole world of stocks, know some stocks really well, know some industries really well, and then have conviction, and the money is made in holding. Is one of the things that I need to do more. Just remember, portfolio risk management is the number one way to make money. If you put 100% portfolio on this and goes down 10% the next day, dang. But you put in a few percent every single time and you start seeing it go up, then you're only risking less than 1% of your portfolio every single time. That is golden. So we went to A-Lab, AMSC, American Superconductor. That's one heck of a prior uptrend for a base. This is at 4 weeks now after the breakout. So there's not as much initial excitement to it. Earnings, sales, fine. Price action is just going up and down. It's consolidating. Another one. It might be a step function, but we'll see what happens. We're going to look at AMSC, ANET, Emerson Networks. This one has definitely had a crazy run up, and it's still running up. Pretty much you just look at the monthly chart. It's just phenomenal. Sales, earnings, making more money than before.
And TSM.
Of course. Taiwan Conductors. I'll look at right after this. When you zoom in on the daily, it always looks a lot more noisy and messy. Once you look at weekly, it's pretty darn good. Take a look at monthly. I'm like, why didn't I buy this at $4 and now it's at $150? Life is like that. When you take the bigger perspective. For TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor, it's probably not the fastest growing the group, but it's doing pretty darn good. It broke out and then just kept on going up and up, and you got your 20-25% profit target. Sales good, earnings good. Annual earnings have been, let's just estimate 2025, right? We have $4.70 already. So it's already going to be higher than here. There's no way it's going to be $5 because there's still half a year left. So we extrapolate it, it's probably going to be about at least $8 because if we look at seasonality from March, in December, they have a little bit more in December, and they're also estimating about 262, 256. So 250 times 4, about $10. So it's probably going to be a 10. So TSM looks pretty darn good from an earnings standpoint. When we look at daily, stalling, reversal, and we'll see how this plays out. But generally speaking, as respect the 10-day line, that means there's some excitement over here at TSM.
Yeah, I sold half my remaining TSM when it hit that profit taking. So I just got a tiny position left now.
That's beautiful.
I'd love it. Yeah.
I always find myself, I buy one share of stock for the heck of it, or else it's like, how am I going to know?
Yeah.
We were at AMSC. No, we did ANET, MongoDB, new softwares. So MDB, what is going on? It's making a ton of money. There's earnings breakout. We got earnings, and now it's consolidating. Is this a high type flag? Did it reach up to 360, maybe about 50? You can say the high type flag is here. It's basing to about 4 weeks. If you want, you can draw a trend line to buy it, but imaginary lines. Stalling, good. 21, good try. See, there's a pullback. See, it goes up. Right now, it's still finding out where it's trying to be. I can't believe stock hasn't moved that much in a while. It just hasn't been on any of my screens. I remember when it came out, all my programmer friends were just nuts about it, saying it's the best thing since the wheel. Netgear, let's see what's going on. Breakout, broke out, finally making money, but it's been losing money for years. Sales going down. I really don't like that. Earnings still needs to try to make money somehow. It's not projected to make, it's planning to make 1 cent per share in December 2025. The earnings line is finally ticking upwards, which is a decent sign. Big fat consolidation. I need to take a look at it monthly. It hasn't moved much. You could have bought it at its IPO in 2003, and for 20 years later, still be at the same price. That just hurts. It needs, I say, this one needs to make more sales until it gets something. There's much better options than Netgear that's out here. Like even the same industry group, we looked at ANET, which is just doing phenomenal. Higher sales, higher earnings. PWR, isn't that plugged? No, that's Quanta. We just did that. Gold's just been having a crazy day. People are telling me I bought $2,000 gold at Costco and now I'm selling it for $4,000 online. Gold is better than any other value of asset. And I'm like, I'm getting a little afraid. When someone who doesn't do any finances starts telling me that, it's like, we should just keep buying gold every single time we come to Costco and just put on our credit cards. I'm like, that's scary.
Wow.
Yeah, I like to hack my credit card points. So it's 2%. If I can sell it for the same price I bought it for, and I can get 2% on credit card points, why not? Anything else for the last 10 minutes you guys would like me to take a look at?
Hey, was there enough demand for how to export data out of Market Surge? That'd be worth covering.
I got to figure it out for myself. Once I logged in, I made a copy of Hailey's list and then I was able to export that. Couldn't export his directly. I had to make a copy to find the export button, but I'm good.
We were talking about this export for my watch list, like CSV, XLS.
Yeah, that's the one that a lot of people seem to miss.
Sorry, I was trying to intrigue you.
Oh, yeah. Now with TradingView, I just grabbed the image of it that he put up and just threw it into Perplexity AI, which is the one I use, and it carved it back.
Nice.
Yep.
And
I love AI.
If you need something to kill time, I've got a Perplexity and an option view spiels that I can both do.
There's something interesting I came across over the weekend when I was talking to some of the younger traders.
Welcome to Floyd. He's joined the meeting.
Where is it? If you guys haven't seen it, there's something called Deep View. No. People have been telling me it's done by people who have been in the industry and also Market Surge. So I tried to sign up for this. It's still in beta testing, but they had so many people that they're like, hey, this is too many people. It does fundamentals, growth, theme, bad screening, industry group ranks, and you just have to join the wait list. I don't know how much this thing costs, but I was just interested to see what this does. So you don't have Market Surge. This might be a good alternative.
Deep View is from TraderLine, right?
Correct.
So
'Cause I know-
DeepView's got an alternative to what?
Market Surge. So the software that I'm using to show you guys.
I wonder how much it compares to Market Surge. I'm not necessarily crazy about the chart so much, but the data underlying, there's so much data that's so rich. I'm doing exports to Excel every day. For me, the value added is all the data.
I might end up switching from Market Surge to Deep View if Deep View is very good. The reasons why, because it's like this company is now owned by Dow Jones Industrial, and every company always changes after acquisition. So we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll start not taking out one-time expenses for data anymore for the fundamentals, and all of a sudden you see crazy things happen, or the fundamentals start getting inaccurate. Then what's the point? Why am I even paying for fundamentals? Because I can easily get if you guys haven't seen, you can get Market Surge. There's a tutorial to get Market Surge. Looks very similar to this on TradingView. I'm only using this for the quick and dirty fundamentals, the earnings plot and stuff like that. I know the data is good because O'Neill Wanda is still made for institutional clients and they use data from there. Anyways, I digress. Microsoft request from James. Going up, going sideways. It's very tight. I'm surprised. Down.
What's the alternative called? Deep Surge?
Deep View. VU.
Okay.
So there's flat base, consolidating. I always love seeing this. From a big, wide base into something a little tighter. Huge uptrend over here. 4 trillion. Is Nvidia the biggest market cap right now, I think? At 4.6. Back in my day, $1 trillion IPOs were not a thing. And $1 billion was the unicorn, not trillion. Oh, sorry. So is this viable? Microsoft is partnered up with ChatGPT, which is open AI. Sales are increasing. Multiple government systems are trusting Microsoft still, along with their Copilot system, to keep their government data private right now. So Microsoft does have the story going for them on the software side, because I still use Excel. I still use Microsoft Word. I still haven't found a good replacement for it yet. And if you guys have any recommendations, let me know. Microsoft Office comes with 1 terabyte of storage with OneDrive, so it's crazy cheap, and I share with 5 people.
I personally love the Microsoft 365 OneDrive space. Everything's backed up automatically on my laptop.
Yeah, like I'm that insane person who I buy iCloud, I buy OneDrive, I buy Google Drive, right? Because I have different purposes for every single drive. Any other questions? We're at the top of the hour right now. In that case, I'm gonna stop the screen share. Thank you for everyone who. Oh, Floyd, what up, dude? I didn't see you there.
I mentioned them a little while ago.
I had a critical deliverable for the city of Ketchikan that I had to get out today. And you're starting at 4 p.m. my time. It bleeds over on some work, but happy to be here at the tail end. I'm assuming you reviewed the TQQ and the others during the session, because those things have just, I forget what SOXL's been up something like
50% this month.
a huge percentage since April, like almost straight up. It's just very impressive. It's nice to see the leverage ones doing so well.
Almost every single stock I follow right now, it's like the word on the street is hold leverage ETFs and you'll just do well and you'll beat the market. I'm like, oh, there's going to be blood on the streets in the future.
Just have your sell rules.
Yeah.
Will you send out the recording?
Yes. I'm going to try to send out by tomorrow night. And I'm going to try to send out the slides at the same time. So it'll be on YouTube and in the email and OneDrive link. Okay. Thank you everyone for attending. I'll see everyone in about a month, and be on the lookout for a bunch of links I'll send out soon.
Thank you. Great
Happy
meeting.
trading, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Floyd. Thank you, James. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Manny. Thank you, Jimmy.
I shot you a message through the meetup chat.
Okay. Beautiful. I'll respond shortly.
Hailey, I've got to send you an email note because I'm part of the group, but I don't get the notifications.
Do it.
Okay. I'll send that tonight.
Okay. See everyone soon.